Lab podcast. All of April is about hormones, and Monday's episode is all about how to optimize hormones, in particular testosterone and estrogen. There are many ways to do that, but three of the most powerful ways to do that get very little recognition are patterns of light viewing, O2-CO2 ratios, specific patterns of exercise, in particular, how particular exercise impact the nervous system and thereby the endocrine or hormonal system. Light viewing has a profound impact on the levels of dopamine release in the brain and therefore the levels of gonadotropin release and luteinizing hormone release, which directly impact levels of testosterone and estrogen from the ovary and testes. As well, timing and patterns of light viewing impact 5-HT, serotonin, which has a reciprocal relationship with melatonin. I get into all this on Monday's episode. As well, O2-CO2 ratios impact whether or not you have apnea during sleep and in waking, whether or not you're under breathing, over breathing, or breathing properly. Most people don't realize this, but there are receptors for estrogen and testosterone actually on the lung afferents, the nerves that innervate the lungs and measure certain aspects of how full or empty your lungs are, and those feed back on whether or not you're going to have apnea. It's one of the strong ways in which apnea can be modulated. And apnea, of course, impacts your sleep depth and duration, which has a direct impact on testosterone and estrogen levels over time. So we're going to talk about how to adjust O2-CO2 ratios, both with practices within sleep and away from sleep. As well, temperature has a profound impact on testosterone and estrogen ratios. The way it does that, I don't think has ever been discussed publicly. I don't know that anyone has read the research papers, but they point to the fact that it's neural innervation of the gonads, ovaries or testes, and thereby blood flow, the exchange of nutrients and other types of hormones in and out of the ovary and gonad that can be modulated by cold and or heat to affect testosterone, estrogen, and fertility. And of course, we discussed nutrition and targeted supplementation, which get a lot of attention on the internet. I'm going to go into the peer-reviewed studies on these, also point to some of the things that are happening and kind of in the emerging space around modulating the hormones, testosterone and estrogen, and their derivatives. Meanwhile, if you haven't seen the episode that's out right now, episode 14, on how hormones impact sexual development, that would be an important one to watch. It'll teach you all about hormones and how they work and how they organize the brain, body, including the spinal cord, in order to react to particular hormones in one way or the other as adults or post-puberty. Thanks so much for your time and attention. Put any questions you have about hormones in the comment section below. We are also going to talk about things like thyroid and growth hormone and other aspects of the hormonal systems that extend beyond testosterone and estrogen and sex differentiation in the subsequent episodes this month. Thanks for your interest in science.